Good day, friends. I hope that this video finds you all well. Over the past 2 or 3 weeks, anyone tuning into sewing YouTube or crafting Twitch will have undoubtedly seen videos and live streams based around making cloth masks for health professionals and adjacent occupations. While this work is admirable, I have neither the stash nor the stamina to make masks in this sort of volume. So hats off to you, internet sewing aficionados. You have my admiration. On April 6th, Canada's Chief Public Health Officer Theresa Tam advised that wearing non-medical face masks would give an additional layer of protection going out into the wild and woolly public. Now, I may not be able to make hundreds of masks for healthcare workers, but I can make a few masks for my family. 12. 12 sounded like a good number. It's been a number of years since I did a lot of sewing, so I supplemented the few fat quarters I'd picked up for making box bags with some cotton donated by my mom. Seriously, she has a huge Rubbermaid bin of cotton swatches she's picked up over the years. First thing I'm going to recommend is the one thing I forgot. Dump all your cotton in the washer and dryer and get all its pre-shrinking out of its system. Because some of this fabric has been in one sort of storage or another for the better part of 30 years, I'd catch some musty notes here and there while sewing. Better to make that a non-issue right from the get-go. Picking my pattern was a little more difficult than choosing fabric. Do I go with Bernadette Banner's simple rectangle, Angela Clayton's nurse's mask? After weighing my options, I went with the pattern and modifications Noelle of Costuming Drama used. The pattern itself is a single cotton rectangle pleated at both ends and folded in the middle with a couple of channels through which to thread some kind of ties. Really, you could sew in some elastic or use twill tape or what have you. The pocket formed between the layers can be used to insert a filter of some sort. The major modification is adding a second layer. You hem the ends for a single layer, but what I did here is place the fashion and core fabrics with their right sides together, seam the ends, and turn inside out. You're still taking away the same amount of length from the ends of the unfolded mask, but when you put everything together you have 4 layers total. From here I made the pleats and pressed them, tacking them down afterward with the machine. That gave me a solid base for the next step. Now, the pattern itself calls for you to cut out 2 smaller rectangles of your outer fabric and hem them on the narrow edges. This way you can create a channel to thread elastic or some sort of cord through. You could just as easily sew in the elastic or ties, but this method allows for some choice. So I folded the larger rectangle with the outer fabric on the inside and sandwiched the folded smaller rectangles on the interior edges, and sewed up both edges. Here's where the magic happens. You turn the little folded package inside out, or maybe outside in, as the case may be, and you have the basic mask. The directions recommend sewing part way along the top edge, leaving a gap to insert a filter. I tried this, didn't work well for me. I tried leaving a channel down the center, and that didn't seem like enough space, so I tried tacking the top edges and the middle with 2 channels on the sides, and again, not great. So I tacked the edges, ripped out the extra stitching, and installed some snaps. Let's be honest, the masks are pretty sturdy and will likely be used fairly often over the coming months. I'll probably be tossing them in the wash on the regular. I'll probably even make more as time goes on, and that's okay. Having snaps makes it easy to replace the filter if I choose to use one. One of the benefits to having a lining layer is that I could sew the snaps to the lining and the stitching wouldn't show through on the outside. Nice and neat and tidy. Which, all things considered, is a spectacularly unique result for one of my projects. Next time we'll discuss whatever became of that sock I was working on last week. The yarn cake has gotten considerably smaller since then. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up, maybe flick the subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you want to keep up with my projects, you can ring my bell. How have you been doing? Are you letting the yarn fumes keep you nice and calm? Around here, whenever knitting projects are useful, physically or metaphorically, we credit the helpful sheep. So friends, I certainly hope the helpful sheep are doing right by you.